Next up, CT. Who we got in the building?
What's up, world? It's your boy Miles, Mega Stack, Try to Live Better, Stay Fly, Cream Universal Representative, Grind Smart, Get Money, Enjoy Life.
That's what's up, yo. So, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself. Let's start from the beginning. Where you come from?
First and foremost, I represent Hartford, Connecticut. Born and raised in Hartford all my life. I'm 31 years old, and you know that's pretty much the beginning of it. I'm from Uptown, Harlem, stand up, 1400. Y'all know what's going on, True City, and all that.
Yes, sir. So tell the viewers a little bit about Uptown. I grew up in the same area, the same neighborhood. I grew up on Kent Street. Tell us a little bit about growing up on Uptown.
You know, it's like a melting pot. You know what I mean? Like it's a good place. You know what I mean? It's no different from anywhere else. But I feel like with Uptown, what makes it a little bit unique is the sense of community. You know what I mean? It's like that's one of the first areas where I can personally say that I've experienced where I never really had to go outside of my area to like do anything. Like when it came to food, had McDonald's right there in the plaza. We had Scott's Bakery. You know, we got Scott's. Not Scott's. We got Snappers. We got Benji's.
Used to have Time Saver. Right,
you know, we used to have Time Savers. You know what I mean? And I got to Uptown like 03. You know what I mean? 2003. I was around. What was it? 2000? Yeah, 2003. I was matter of fact 2000. Yeah, the end of 2003 going into 2004, because I remember I was, you know, in middle school going to Fox. And prior to that, you know, in the city, I used to live on Western Street, used to live on Vine Street, used to live in Charter Oak, but it was on Uptown where, you know, I kind of got, you know, the flavor and my sense of survival at, you know.
Of survival, for sure. And I met you around those times and around the neighborhood, and you was a part of a crew. Can you tell us a little bit about that crew?
Well, one of those crews, well, how far back you want me to take it? From Lethal Weapons or GD Rich Kids? Because, you know,
I was talking about GD Rich Kids, but let's start with the first one.
Alright, so one of the first teams that I was a part of was a rap group called Lethal Weapons. It consisted of me, myself, and another individual who's well known, Young Flea. You know what I mean? Shout out to my guy, Young Flea 365. He's doing his thing right now in the world. And I started off right there, you know, it was me and him just going around pretty much just doing our thing back and forth, holding it down lyrically, doing our best lyrically, whether it was in a cafeteria, whether it was at a Jamaican parade, whether it was at a Doc Hurley game, you know what I mean? Me and him was just always going around, just doing our best to showcase our talents. You know, we was those dudes where after school, we'd come to the block. You know, you had dudes out there like Art Twig, you feel what I'm saying? You know, a couple of legends out there who was, you know, making things happen. And they would stop us from time to time to just hear us rap, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And me and my boy, we devised the plan like, man, y'all ain't gonna keep stopping us to rap, man. We need some money to get some snacks and shit from the store. So, man, y'all got some dollars for us. Me and my boy, we gonna do what we do. So, you know, that was a little thing that we had, you know, after school. We just go to the block, split some 16s, we get some money, we go get some snacks from the store, you know, little kid shit.
So basically, you used to rap for the hustlers on the block.
Yeah.
Get a little couple dollars.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was like that. That's what really that was pretty much like my first introduction of having a group. You know what I mean? Even though it was just me and him. And again, like that was like my middle school years, and then high school years, I'll say around like my sophomore year, I had linked up with the twins, which I knew the twins from like forever, since like elementary school, since like third grade.
Yeah, I was like in preschool with them.
Yeah, you know, Fame. Shout out Fame and P.C, man. You know what I mean? 100 tracks on deal, New 11. Y'all know what's going on. But it started out with them, man. You know, we started chilling. You know, we was they was a part of an after school program called Stump the Violence. They was going there first, and then they had introduced me to the program. And then from there, like, we just started chilling after school, going to the program, just doing our thing. And then the way we kind of, like, started clicking, like, every day was one day in particular, you know I'm all over the place with this, but just, you know, it's going to add up.
Yeah.
But one day in particular, like, I was outside just running around doing what I do, you feel me? And I had ran into the twins outside and they was doing their thing, you feel me? And they heard that, you know, I was nice on the mic or whatever the case may be. And these dudes, like, they do their thing, like they ill, you feel me? It's two of them, you feel me? Double trouble for real. So they wanted to battle me, bro. You feel me? So mind you,
both of them want to battle.
Yeah, they both want to battle, you feel me? So I'm one person. So I'm like, all right, bro, let's get it. You feel me? My confidence at that time was through the roof. And I battled both of them. You know, we had what we had. You feel what I'm saying? And that led to us just chilling every day. They had said that they had a recording system at their house. And me growing up, I never really had the musical outlets that most of my peers had, I would say.
Yeah.
But going to their house and they having a whole recording system there, it was like, that was something that put me in a whole nother element. So like from that day forward, we just started chilling and we never stopped chilling up until us, you know, running into my boy Mo, him being a part of the cypher, my boy Tiger, Pop Lottie, Bones, you know, just other friends coming into us chilling, and everybody wasn't doing music, but they was doing something that they loved. Like my boy Bones, that was one of my first friends that I had from the hood that was snowboarding, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was bowling, that was doing different things.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I was just about to say that, like, y'all crew was like a different crew. Like, in those days, everybody was on the Dipset wave,
yeah,
and the Max B and everything, but y'all was kind of like those different guys that, you know, wore colorful clothes, different type of style, and I remember those days.
I appreciate that, man. And you know, during that phase in our lives, like, everybody in my crew, like, we was feeding off of each other's energy. You know what I mean? GED Rich Kids was something that really started as a collective mind. You know, shout out my boy Pop Lottie. Like, he was the one of our element that really taught, like, you know, not only shout out BY too. You know, Born, shout out Born. You know what I mean? Because these is individuals that came into my life and that helped me turn my swag up. You feel what I'm saying? These was dudes that was showing me the other element, that was teaching me how to wear my jeans a little bit different, teaching me about famous stars and stripes, teaching me about, you know, a bunch of different designers that I didn't know. You feel what I'm saying? And we just was like some young dudes who wanted to get it. You feel what I'm saying? We just felt in ourselves that we was going to be one of those dudes in our communities or even in our families that just take it to the top. So GD Rich Kids, it was more like a state of mind. It wasn't really about the money. It was the state of mind of waking up every day, devising a plan to go and get some bread. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I come from knocking at doors to shovel snow. I come from knocking at doors to rake leaves. You feel what I'm saying? To get it. You know, I used to walk to the top of Scarborough, you know what I mean? Once you cross the bridge, go to these big, nice houses and ask these people, like, what's up? You need somebody to shovel your driveway. You know, you need somebody to rake your lawn. So when I'm showing my peers this, you know, outside of, you know, the traditional way of, you know, as some people say, jumping off the porch and getting into other elements, I kind of, you know, that came later on in life. You know what I mean? Like, I was trying to find other innovative ways to, not only for myself to get money, but for my peers. And GD Rich Kids was just one of those things where that helped me stay out of trouble, but it also helped me find myself. You know what I mean? The things that we was able to do as a team, it just set the tone for the young men that we are today. You know what I mean? So
indeed, you know, like you saying all that, I can concur to that because you always had like this confidence about you that I've seen throughout the years. How did you get that confidence? Do you know how you got that confidence? Is it something you always had, or
I'm gonna share something with the world, and this is gonna be actually like my first time sharing this with y'all, and I really want y'all to like really hold this to your hearts and understand that I'm sharing a piece of me with y'all. You feel me? Like, my confidence came from me not being confident at all. You know what I mean? Like, I was one of those kids, like, I didn't have like all the latest Jordans coming up. Like, I didn't have like all the latest fashions. Like, I was one of those kids that I didn't have like toys. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you know how like you go to like people's houses, like friends' houses, and they got like a toy chest and they got this and that. Like, no, like, I love my mother to death. Shout out to Big Bird. You feel me? I love her to death. Like, I'm a reflection of her, and a lot of this confidence comes from what she instilled into me. You feel what I'm saying? But even when I thought like I needed those material things, I had my mind.
Yeah.
Like, my mind was just like, even at a young age, like, it scared me. Like, I would think about things and visualize things that was like so monstrous that I would think like, what the fuck am I thinking about that for? I'm only 7. I'm only 8. You know what I mean? But a lot of it just came from just knowing that one day, like, I was going to get my opportunity to have all those things. And my mother always instilled into me from young, like, you know, you got a roof over your head, you got food on your stomach, you feel what I'm saying? They're going to talk, they're going to say what they're going to say, but you're going to make it. You'll survive it, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just like, I never let it get me down. I just stayed confident in just knowing, like, I'm somebody, you know what I mean? I'm set from a higher power, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might not have it today, but I can learn how to do it, you know what I mean? And I can apply the skill sets to keep on getting it, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, it'll be times where, you know, I didn't feel like the flyest nigga on the planet, but I am, you feel me? And it's not the clothes that I wear, it's not the things that I buy, but it's the way that I feel about myself, you know what I mean? And it's the way that I personally believe that I want others to feel about themselves as well. You know what I mean?
That's a good message to have, for real. That's a good message to put out there to the youth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good way of thinking. And your mom is dope for instilling those things in you because you can share that with everybody else. And it shows you don't even have to say nothing to people to show them that. Just through your actions, you know, somebody might follow in your footsteps from your actions.
Yeah, and you know, like, to touch on that, like, you know, I'm 31 years old now. You know, I like to say I'm 31. You know what I mean? And even in the never essence, like, I'm timeless. Like, I don't let my age really get me down. But, you know, it's like when I was younger, I used to feel like I had to have everything. Like, I used to be arrogant when I was younger. I used to be big headed. I used to be cocky. And I'm just here to let y'all know, like, arrogance will kill a man. You feel what I'm saying? Arrogance will blind a man. And the way that I used to treat people wasn't the right way to treat people. And I personally believe that the reason why I was treating those people that way is because I was that kid before who knew what it felt like to get picked on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I was that kid before who knew what it felt like not to have the ladies. You know, it's like I was the type of person where I felt like I had to be like that towards people because they was like that towards me. But it was like putting people down and making people feel less of themselves because you have material things and they don't, or you may have money for the moment and they don't. Like, you don't get far with that. And I learned that from my own experiences. It's like I've always felt better helping others, you know what I mean? Not only during situations of time of need, but just on a daily basis, just helping them find something within themselves that they might not know was there. The same way other people has come along on my journey and helped me. You know, so one of the greatest gifts that I have that I'm thankful for is influence. You know what I mean? The ability to influence somebody to want to do something, or to influence somebody to want to be better than what they once was. You know, that's a great gift to have. And you know, with great gifts and great power comes greater responsibilities. So that's just helped me shape myself into a better individual to exemplify to my son, my daughter first, and then to others. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You just brought up your son and daughter, and that's perfect because I always ask people when they come here, it's an important thing to me is fatherhood. How do you feel about fatherhood? If you could start off with your experience with your father or in your experience being a father.
Well, first and foremost, I want to commemorate all fathers. You know, I want to commemorate all mothers as well because it's not easy, and it's a journey nonetheless, and it's a never ending journey that's going to build you.
That's
but
right.
With that being said, like, when it comes to my pops, I love him to death. You know what I mean? He's definitely a great influence in my life today. You know what I mean? The relationship that I had with him coming up was a little rocky, but I would say it was only rocky because he was still trying to find out who he was as a young man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had to I had to forgive him for that. You know what I mean? The same way that I had to forgive my mother for certain things. You know what I mean? Because when you're young, like how I was a young parent, you know, at 18, I had my child the same age, I believe, as my mother had me. You know what I mean? So that puts my father in around the same state of mind. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like when I came time to bring my child into this world, I was scared. You know what I mean? I was a little shaken. I cried to my mother because I didn't know what to expect. You know, coming up in the early 2000s, you know, you had got a lot of how can I say? You had got a lot of bullshit thrown at you for being a young parent, and the stigma for having kids at a young age. It's like, oh, your life over. You're not gonna be able to do anything. You feel what I'm saying? And I was scared, but I wasn't going to allow my fears or my weaknesses at that time to overpower being a father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've been a father for 13 years, and I say that with honor, and I'm proud to say that because there's still ways for me to go. Like, again, I tell people this all the time, like, I watch my children grow, and they've also watched me grow. You know, so we're on this journey together. You know what I mean? And you know, I also had to learn that a lot of times, like, a lot of us, we feel like it's just us going through certain things, or it's just us dealing with the quote unquote baby mama drama. But I feel like we have to begin to put, you know, these type of conversations on the table and be able to sit like men and talk about things that men go through. You know what I mean? Because as much as we love our women and we have to be there for our women, we also have to be there for ourselves. You know what I mean? And I'm a living testament of that. You know what I mean? Shout out to, like, again, all the single moms, all the strong mothers, all the single fathers out there, and everyone that's even in communion. You know what I mean? Just love yourself and just continue to love your family, because these kids, they need us, because we was those kids at one point in time. You know?
That's a definite fact. You know, you said something about giving forgiveness to your parents. I want to ask you, how did you come to that forgiveness? Because I know for me, I had to come to that same type of forgiveness. So I want to hear how you came to that forgiveness.
Whew. One thing that I will say, like, attacking the elephant in the room, it's not always easy, but it has to be done. And I personally felt like just having the courage to just sit down with, first, my mom. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, my mom raised me, my father was there, but you know what I mean? My mom put in that blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's things that I didn't learn until, you know, unfortunately, like, I was incarcerated, you know, for a short period of time. You know, for a short period of time, I had learned this in jail. And it's all, like, you know, again, follow me, because, like, this all ties into what I'm saying and how I was able to do that. I was going through a situation one time, and I had found myself in Hartford County, and I'm having a conversation with an older individual, and they're asking me, like, you know, what's going on with you? You know, like, why are you in here? And I told them, you know, baby mama drama, whatever. And the person has said, you know, like, how's the relationship with your mom? And it fucked me up. It fucked me up. Like, when he's asking me that question, he's like, how's the relationship with your mom? I'm like, what you mean? Like, you know, like, what you mean by that? He's like, well, how could you know how to treat a woman if you don't have a relationship with your mother? If you've never taken time to understand the woman that raised you. You know, and I don't mean to get emotional, but it's like, that's one of those things that I've just now in recent years, like, really begin to conquer. You know what I mean? Like, me and my mom, our relationship is better than it's ever been, and I love her to death. And the way I was able to handle it was, that night, I really had to think to myself, like, well, damn, I never thought about what it took for my mom to be a woman. You know, like, I never thought about, like, what she had to endure as a young lady. You feel me? On
To
the
raise
streets,
you.
you know what I mean? To raise me. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm a living testament. Like they always say, like, don't disrespect your parents. Don't ever disrespect your parents because you'll have it difficult in life. You know what I mean? And you know, me and my mom, we've had our ups and our downs, but those ups and our downs helped me become stronger and better. And the way I was able to deal with it, like to answer that is, you know, I went through therapy. You know what I mean? I went through things in life where I had to, you know what I mean, get a therapist to sit down and talk with them. And it helped. It worked. Like, it worked. Like, you're not crazy.
A lot of people don't go to therapy.
Like, I'm here to tell you, like, you're not crazy. Like, you're, you know, shout out to you know, Maurice Eastwood, Splash, you know, seek therapy. It helps. You know what I mean? Like, I'm able to sit with y'all and show you who I am here and now because I'm healed. I'm better. I got the help that I needed. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes we need that mediator there to mediate things and let us get our problems out on the table.
That's for sure. I'm thinking about doing something.
So, you know, to answer that, like, it just came from me going to seek that help for myself first and then sitting down with my mom and just explaining to her and just letting her know certain things that affected me. She let me know certain things that affected her. And we had to come to the conclusion that we're human. Nobody is perfect. We're going to say things that we don't mean sometimes. And I hope that, you know, we don't go above and beyond and say the wrong things. And sometimes we may even do things that we don't mean. But you know what? The greatest gift and the greatest joy comes from realizing that, you know what? I was bugging. Or you know what? I could have handled that differently. You know what I mean?
Self-accountability.
Exactly.
Self-accountability.
Exactly. And you see, that's maturity.
That's maturity.
And once I was able to do that, we was able to get past what's happened. Like, it's over. Like, I can't hold it against you for
forever
making mistakes. And I wouldn't want nobody to hold that against me. You know what I mean? So it was just pretty much agreeing to disagree and getting over it. Because a lot of times we're in denial. You know, a lot of times when there's like a problem, like, and I've heard this and I've learned this from classes. Like the first way to correct a problem is to first admit and identify that there's a problem. You can't keep acting like there's not a problem. Like, you know what I mean? It can't keep being that family reunion. And every time, like, you just know how the family reunion gonna go. Okay, auntie about to come over, my uncle, they don't talk about it. You can't keep being that. Like, at some point, somebody gotta come and say, yo, you know what, y'all gotta cut all that bullshit out, man. This is how we're doing it now. This is a new wave. This is a new generation. This is what we're doing right now. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like it's up to us.
It is up to us.
It's up to us, man.
A lot of our families is like that, you know, and I could relate to everything you're saying. And I feel like I'm about to go seek therapy. Like
seek therapy.
Honestly, I ain't known my father my whole life. I only knew him from the phone. First parts of my life, he was in jail. He came home, got deported. But he will always call. My father just died this year.
Okay.
Me and my three brothers here, we had to pay for my father's funeral in Jamaica. We flew down there. We buried my father at the top of a mountain. And it was so hard to carry him up the mountain. Like, I was at the front of the crowd. You got women helping us everything. We stepping over tombstones. The casket was so heavy. It was so hard to carry him up there. But once we got to the top, it was so beautiful. And it was like, this was my first time in Jamaica where my father's from. All these years, my first time here, I went through the struggle, but this beauty at the same time. And we buried my father. It was just a whole bunch of emotions all at once. You know, it was a crazy experience. And it was an eye-opening experience. And I came back home to work a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? Let me work a little bit harder on my goals to reach my goals for my kids.
Definitely.
You get what I'm saying? And when my mother, she the one who raised me, and she's dealing with the very thing that my father died from right now as well. It just happened. Like, so I already came to getting over my issues with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because I started to look at it like, why am I mad at my mom? I should be mad at my father.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't here. But I realized it's always wrong. They both was living lives and wasn't raised in a setting where they had both parents to teach them everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they went through ups and downs. And I had to listen to them tell me their stories. I asked them, you know, what made you, what you went through?
Mm-hmm.
They'd tell me the stories, and I would listen.
Mm-hmm.
And that would humble me, make me, you know, be more grateful that
Definitely.
I did at least have what I had.
Exactly. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, my pops, he's like, I can't even really like put a finger on him, you know, because sometimes like words get in the way. But he's just one of those dudes that's like, he don't really show no emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never seen him cry, never seen him show no emotion. His mindset has just always been like, you know, I gotta get the money, gotta make sure everything's right, gotta make sure people, the family is taken care of. But in like, you know, in recent years, like I've had the opposite, or like the shortcomings that we have, the things that we went through outweigh the good. You know what I mean? Because I'm here now. You know what I mean? You got two beautiful grandchildren now. You know what I mean? Like you was able to survive a lot of the turmoil that you went through, and to see me raise mine now. So it's the little things that make a big difference. You know?
Yeah. It's definitely the little things that make it a big difference. Because like, with me having my kids, bro, I ain't have it all. When I was 22, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really thinking about, you know, the future that much. I was just trying to rap and have fun.
Yeah.
So when I had my daughter and everything, it was a process of me maturing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a whole bunch of money and everything, but I was always a worker, do what I could do. But the main thing, I was always with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like every day, change diapers, bathe,
Mm-hmm.
do their hair, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And just all those things mean so much to them. Like I could do the littlest thing and they love it. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be much, but they love it. I see how they enjoy my presence more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that mean the world to me.
Yeah, you know, that's like that right there. It's like, I've learned a lot through not only my own experiences, but first through music as well. It's like, there's a quote that always gonna resonate me from Jadakiss. He says, you know, my little boy 7, he the sequel to the Thug, but I told him the money would never equal to the love. Listen, I'm grown, y'all. So when it comes, he's like, listen, I'm grown, y'all. So understand when it comes to the family, it ain't never a problem, just only a phone call. They tend to take that and run with it. That's why every other month I'll be on some new phone, new number shit. You know, being young, hearing kids spit that at that time, like, it did something different to me. You know what I mean? Because here it is, it's like, on my side of the fence, like I'm 8 and 9, I'm watching my pops, you know what I mean, live his life and do what he do. And it used to feel like, I think like the money was more important to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and for a short while, that kind of was what it was, because he admitted that to me. You know, he admitted that he was young and he didn't understand certain things. He was just caught up in getting money. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I brought that up, is because it's like, my own son sat me down before at the age of 7 and told me that. You know what I mean? Sat me down, was like, yo, daddy, like, you always say like you gonna play with me, or like you always say like what you gonna do with me, but you come in the house like you count your money and you go to sleep. You feel me? I don't like that. You know, my son 13 years old right now. So he told me that at the age of 7. So it's like, it just made me begin to understand that it's about the legacy. Like the money, yeah, that's gonna pay for the bills, but you know, what can you gotta teach your kids things and instill things into them that you didn't know.
Yeah.
That they need to know.
That's why we need to create family businesses.
You know,
so
definitely.
We can teach them how to make money, how
Exactly.
to handle money. And then it could be a family thing.
Exactly.
They won't feel excluded.
Exactly.
You know, I've been trying to think of ideas like for my kids.
You know, because that's like not to cut you, like that's the real gang. You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, like you hear people saying out here like gang or the team or the guys. You feel no, man. It's about the legacy. So the legacy is what you create and pass down to not just from your generation but to the next generation, because the meek shall inherit the earth. Like we got it now. Like it was a point in time where we was young. We was 15 and 16. Couldn't wait to get this. You feel me? Yeah. Now we got it. So now what? You feel what I'm saying? What we gonna do with it? What we gonna be able to turn around and say to the next generation that's coming up after us? Because the next generation is already amongst us.
I would tell them prepare, man. Just prepare for life ahead of you. You know, try to enjoy it.
Enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like enjoy it and go for what you want.
Yeah.
You know, like
sure.
I personally say like I'm living in one of the best days and ages ever right now. You know what I mean? Like as much as like, you know, you have to take the good with the bad. And you have to take the bad with the good. Like that's just the way life is. But within the midst of all this chaos and all this bad, like you have to create your own little world. You know, it's a big world out there, so you have to think big, and it gets even bigger as you go out. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, just continue to like one of my messages would be like to the generation of now and the generation to come is to just prepare and just sharpen your swords and don't be afraid to try. You know what I mean? Procrastination, like that was one of my biggest things that I've dealt with and that I continue to battle with to a degree today is procrastination. Procrastination is assassination to a great man's character, because you can know what to do, how to do, and when to do all you want, but if you never actually get around to doing, it's like that's like the greatest ignorance.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's like the greatest ignorance. So, you know, I don't want that for myself, and I would hate that for y'all. You know.
So, tell us about some of the music. I know you've been coming back out with some tracks and everything. I'll be always seeing you on live, freestyling, giving the world some of that cream universal flavor. So, tell us a little bit about the music and what you got coming up.
All right. So, first and foremost, like my latest project that I released was Ferrari off of Freestyles Volume 1. And you can find that on YouTube. I didn't put that on various platforms yet. I'm still working towards that. But right now it is on YouTube, on my YouTube page, Milex MEGA, Mega. So the idea for Ferrari off of Freestyles was pretty much like a couple years back, I'd say like 3 years ago. That's how long like a lot of those joints on there is. Like it was just a bunch of stashed freestyles that I just had, and I used to go live with spitting and just shit like that. But I felt like I have to put together at least like something, a compilation of something to give to the people that's been, you know, following me, that's been checking for me, you feel what I'm saying? And Ferrari off of Freestyles was just the first compilation that I could come up with right now to just, you know, pretty much throw out there to the people within, you know, my hometown and within the city that know that I spit, to just, you know, have something to play with for right now. But from that project, we got other things that I'm working on right now. I'm gearing up to just put out a single called Scarface and Manolo. That's something that I'm going to be putting another a video out for, and that's coming up off of Ferrari off of Freestyles Volume 1. And honestly, just staying consistent. Like this is just the beginning. Like I'm really just gearing up to hit them hard and just show my state, then the world, then everywhere what I got and what I consist of, you know. But it's just gonna be a lot of work that goes into it, and I don't want to say like a lot of work like it's gonna be like so like detrimental, but it's just about staying consistent and just staying on top of what I've already done and just scaling up. Yeah. You know, because you could be here, but you gotta think about what's next, you know. And as you go up, it's just more focus and more consistency and more dedication that goes into the craft, you know.
Yeah, because it's gonna be more work.
More work. That's it. You know, like hard work. Like I'm a firm believer, and I've experienced it for myself. Like hard work beat talent when the talent don't work hard. Like I had came up with like a little analogy for this shit. It's like you got niggas that lead, like you got niggas that make it to the league, and then you got people that lead. Like, and what I mean by that is, it's like I don't really know sports like that. You feel me? I don't watch too much like football, whatever. But I do know this much, right? Every team got every like team got like a bunch of players on it that people don't know. Like just a bunch of niggas running around the motherfuckers. You don't even know these motherfuckers, but you just see them like, but they're there, like they're there. You feel me? They're good enough to be there. You feel me?
Yeah.
Then you got the niggas that lead. You feel me? Like when you know they jersey. Like, feel me? Like when Brown come on the court, I know Brown, feel me? I don't really know like a lot of y'all other niggas, you feel me? I know Brown, but I know when Brown step on that court, that's the Brown home league. He about to do what he do. He ain't coming to play no games, you feel me?
Yeah.
Then you got niggas like Steph Curry. Feel me? Steph Curry come on the court, he coming to lead. You feel me? He ain't just coming to play, he's coming to dominate. You feel what I'm saying? He's coming to continuously dominate, because continuously dominating is what got him into the position that he's in now. And it's somewhat like, as they would say, like, as you know, God bless Kobe, you feel me? Like the Mamba mentality. I didn't always know about the Mamba mentality. You feel what I'm saying? But it is a mentality that you really have to get on to constantly keep winning. Like, okay, you can win the champion bowl, you could win the championship 10 times. 10 times you can win it. But you have to keep scaling up, because there's going to be that 11th time where you're going to have to win it again. And then you're going to have to win it again. So it's a state of mind. Like,
mindset.
You know, it's a mindset. You don't never get big-headed off the first Grammy, off the second one. You don't get big-headed. You just keep doing what got you there. Like, when the sun rises in the morning, like, you don't say, oh, I came yesterday, I ain't going to come. Nah, it's continuous, you feel what I'm saying? So I'm learning to just align myself with the sun, stars, and moon, man, and just keep this shit organic, man, for real.
That's for sure. Well, I hope we see you in the trajectory to be up there with the stars. I know you gonna do it.
Definitely.
You know, you always had the star power. And just before we head out, just tell the viewers, the fans, where can they find your music? Where can they subscribe to your platforms? Hit them with your info, bro.
All right, you can subscribe to Milex MEGA on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know, follow that for all my latest videos, all my latest interviews, all my latest content drops. You can follow me on Instagram at MILESMEGA. You can follow me on Facebook at the same way, MILESMEGA. Cream Universal, grind smart, get money, enjoy life. Do remember, BG Grabber, the thing hot.
Let's go. Next up, CT. We out.